Welcome to the AIP channel where anything is possible, where we'll talk about anything and everything your heart's desire. Tonight, as I turn stuff off where we won't make noises, uh, we're going to talk about America's Stonehenge. It's up in New Hampshire. It's possibly a megalithic structure um, pre-Viking, possibly. The way it's built, I mean, there's no doubt it's man-made. I don't think anybody's denying that. Of course, if there's lots of theories on it, and there's lots of people that don't want to believe that it's legitimately thousands of years old or 2,000 years old or more, because it changed the narrative of how people look at um, history again. Usually if it goes outside their thought process again, they don't like it. So uh, it's a pretty interesting day show. Come on in here, and you gotta get the shadow in the podcast tonight. Ones that can't, it's not on video. You don't see the shadow sitting here. I forgot to shut my door today in the office. I'm gonna show it'd be good if you did watch like on Spotify or YouTube, because I am going to show some pictures of it, and so you can kind of get your own ideas and thought process on it. So it's a pretty amazing little site. It's let's see what we got going on here. We got it's around, structures are scattered across about 30 acres up at around Salem, New Hampshire, and it's possible stonework to equinoxes and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing. They had first time I seen about it was on the man, what was the name of that show? Unearthed, where a geologist would go around and check the rocks and stuff and carvings and try to figure out America Unearthed. There we go. I'll find it. Yeah, I've seen it on America Unearthed. It's 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 a pretty good show from a History Channel show. I got images. It was actually, let's see, aired on A&E, and it was on History Channel 2 for a little bit, for ones that was watching History Channel back then. Uh, they had a lot of good shows on History too. They just stopped. Uh, they had that Search for Aliens show, and then they had this one and several others that I really like watching. It's pretty interesting. There's lots of it talks about there's lots of sites, there's lots of pyramids and caves and all kinds of things that we didn't know about in history. Taught in history class, and it's true. That there's a lot of stuff that you know uh, I'm in my 40s, and even younger than people younger than me, they in history class didn't teach a lot of stuff that's really come out. Um, of course, like uh, Columbus discovered America, which he really didn't. Uh, he actually never stepped foot on the actually United States. And it's pretty well proven. There's still people that doubt it, but all the facts are there, that the Vikings were here years and years before they ever were, and possibly people before that, not counting the natives are already here, that's, but actually having Europeans over here, um, you know, several hundred years before, Columbus even sailed the sea in 1492 on the Ninta and Pinta in Santa Maria. Uh, Good old days of history class. I actually I didn't enjoy my history teacher, to be honest. If he hears this podcast, I apologize. I don't know. I was bored, you know. Now that I'm older, I like to. I mean, even when I was younger, I like learning about history, but just the way it was, way it was being taught, it didn't respond to me. I passed history class, but uh, not just. It wasn't like you think somebody really liked history would do A's and B's, and I'm like over here getting C's and a D here and there because I'm just bored and I didn't like it. Uh, but to get everything back on track, because my ADD brain will do that, I'm gonna share this here, and I'm gonna click on some of these wonderful pictures. I'm just uh, it's just being honest, I'm just a DuckDuckGo search, and we're going to look at some pictures. I just want y'all to see some of these amazing pictures from it, and like I said, the ones are on. If you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can see it. If not, I appreciate you listening. Even though I'll describe them, of course. I won't be like just blank. Imagine what this is without hearing a word. That's silly. Yeah, like I said, this is when the stones actually set up. If I remember right, one of the ones um, for one of the equinoxes, the sun come down to the tip. The just the stone stacking. You see it here. Just the architecture is pretty amazing. I know they show somebody wants to steal that picture here. um, you know, uh, there's a room. My microphone getting away from me. There's a room. Uh, if you down in this little tunnel, you can talk. I heard it, and you can speak, and it kind of amplifies your voice. So it kind of make it like a ritual, like God speaking or something like that. It showed that on the American on Earth when they went to the site and checked it out. They did. Of course, it looks like they had a sacrifice table. I think yeah, there it is right here in this picture. If I'm right, I haven't seen the show in a little bit. Just the architecture and everything of how everything is. Of course, they got a little land uh, sign saying it suggested that it's more than 2,000 years old. Of course, the people that own it truly. I've seen it say there. I remember on the show they were talking about it, being actual Phoenician background because of the way the architecture and the way it's laid out. And let's see if I can find another cool picture of it. Like I said, there's lots of. I wouldn't mind going up there and check it out. It'd be a hell of a ride for me, coming from Mississippi all the way up there. But I'm sure there'd be some other cool stuff I could see on the way and make it worth it. Like I said, if you want to check it out, like I said, you can Google search Um, here's the sacrificing table right here. It's got the channels in it. It actually is flat stone, but it's got channels in it where you can see where they made it where you could collect the blood from whatever you sacrificed, hopefully animal. And that's pretty amazing. Like I said, a couple more little pictures here. Some of the same ones over and over again, but here's another look of that table. So, um, what do you think? Is it ancient? Is it I mean, it's pretty old. The weathering and everything on the rocks show that it's been there a while. But you know, what do you think? I'm asking that question to you. Do you think it's actually possible Phoenician, um, possible pre-Viking, or is it a few hundred years old and somebody really really liked that type of architecture and built it themselves? I mean, like it could be like that one guy that built the castle. Was it Crystal Castle or San? I had to look that one up. Maybe put in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Where he actually possibly they say he possibly levitated the rocks and built it himself. He built everything himself at night for nobody to see it, and supposedly he just used pulleys um, and move all these huge rocks. And the guy was a small man. He was very tiny, and he moved all these stones and built this whole castle for by himself. And I mean, it could be something similar to that, where uh, it's. I mean, anything is possible. Like the podcast, the name says, anything is possible. It could very be. I wouldn't put it past. We as a society truly has amnesia, and we have forgotten so much of our past. Part of it truly is because history is written by the victors. So if a society was doing very well and had all kinds of stuff, um, and another society who didn't like them, whatever, they could call them whatever they want to and crucify them and destroy them, and then put in there, since they won and leveled all these other people, they can say what they want to about them. There's been history of that, on one side or the other, certain cultures, if you hear it from one side, it's one way, and you hear it from the other side, and if we're lucky enough to have both sides of every story still there, you hear, uh, it's it's funny how the narrative changes on what side of the history you're sitting on. And like I said, if they turn and actually destroy everything and level these places, there's nothing there to show. So potentially the archaeology of it, or the site is, nothing there, or they built on top of it. You've seen that over history. They'll level this or level this, and then turn around and use the foundations of past places and build on top of it. And so it truly shows that it's not as, it makes people think it's not as old as it was. They start digging. Well, this is only to the 1500s or 3,000 years old. Well, that's maybe that was the uh, last people that used that site. We do it. I've said it on here before. We've done it all the time. We do it now. Um, there's a Facebook page, for around here talking about what's not here anymore, and people show uh, stories and pictures of places that have been gone, and a lot of them forgotten. Some people never even get to see them. Some of the places I seen on there, I never got to see them. They were destroyed and leveled before I was even born. Or when I get to see places and spend time in places. Like there's a bowling alley there in Memphis. I remember I was going to as a kid with my parents, and it's gone. I don't know. It's a gym, fitness gym now. They leveled it and put a gym there. So I mean, a lot of the younger generation never knew it was anything other than that gym. But they even knew anything about it. They never knew about the bowling alley and the amazing old lanes and stuff they have there, and all the history. We just destroy and rebuild on top and forget. A lot of things have been forgotten in the last 20, 40, 50 years, 100 years. Things have changed. How people look at them in the last 100, 150 years on a lot of things. And it makes me think and wonder and sit back and go and ask myself, well, okay, well, if the narrative has changed so much on this situation, and it's only 50, 80, 100 years old, 150 years old, what about all these 1,000 years old and 2,000, 5,000-year old sites and places and such? There's a lot of stuff that's for sure we're getting wrong. That they're saying, oh, this is set in stone. This is how it is. I'm like, maybe, and they might be right. Some things they might be right. It's a very good possibility. They could be right. But I believe that my personal opinion, is, a lot of things are just as they're wrong as much as they are right. They're maybe 50-50 on a lot of things. People, they get narratives, and then you have fear of being blacklisted and not being able to work. Like in history and museums and archaeological societies and stuff like that, there's a real thing. If you go against the narrative, then you get ridiculed and blacklisted. And anyway, it should be, we should be able to discuss and go, okay, hey, there's a new thing. We're steadily getting new technology, steadily getting new ways of looking at things. Why do we have to stay in the same mindset? I don't understand it. Things we figured out 200 years ago. Why can't, or 150 years ago? Why can't we use new technology and new looks and see that possibly they were wrong? Not to look and say, hey, they're wrong, or just say, okay, let's look at this angle. Everything, if you look at it, you can look at somebody or something and look at it one angle and look, you can look at a picture, there's pictures, you can look at it in one angle is, you're like, it's kind of iffy looking or ugly looking or however you want to say it. And then you turn it at a different angle and it could be the most beautiful thing you ever seen. And it's the same thing. it's the same picture, but at a different angle, different lighting, different this. It makes a whole different skew of it. And that's just one of the things that makes me go on a lot of this history and stuff like that, and stuff like this American Stonehenge. And there's a lot of people that don't believe in it and won't. It's just think it's just BS. Why does it have to be BS? Because they don't fit in somebody's box. You know, because people were they were stupid. They were dummies back in 6,000 years ago. They were just walking around picking up berries and hunting antelope, and that's been proven wrong already with a Kotepe. I can't say the word right. I guess I'm tired. No, go peppy, techie, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In Turkey, in sites like that, it's tens of, 10,000, 12,000 years old. And we're finding more. And there's another one close to it. There's another like 12,000-year-old site. And we're finding more and more society. And something else while I'm rambling along and just spitting out this random knowledge in my head, lots of archaeological sites aren't even found by archaeologists. I can't speak tonight. What is wrong with me? I, forgive me on my words tonight. I don't know what's up with me, but I'm leaving all this in here because y'all know how I am. I'm just real, and it is what it is. Guess I am a little tired, but I wanted to get this out to y'all. But yeah, there's so many sites, so many different places. There's a lot of anything is possible for sure. I just I wanted to share this. I seen on America on Earth a while back, like I said, and I seen somebody else was talking about it, and I was like, well, I haven't had a chance to talk about this one, so figured why not. Like I said, take a look at it. Look, do a little Google search, American Stonehenge. It's like you can go up there and check it out if you're close by. I wish I could. If I was close by within an hour or two, I'd sure drive up there and take a look. It's a few more than just an hour or two for me to get there. So I mean, I won't try to make it one day. I'll sure do it. I like to. Man, if I make it, we'll do a podcast right there. I'll do a live podcast there or something. We'll do that one day. Do a live podcast in an ancient site. But like I said, I appreciate y'all listening. If you made it here and listen to my rambling and everything and incoherent words sometimes, I sure appreciate you. And like I said, just like and share, subscribe on Spotify, hit the bell and all that on YouTube. Let people know if you like it, and check out some of the other episodes. On YouTube, you'll have them at the end. You'll see a couple of different ones you can watch. Click on them and check them out. They're, just me being me. I'm also on Troubled Minds Network, KUAP, Digital Broadcasting. You can check out there and see a bunch of amazing people, amazing shows that I'm lucky to be put into rotation with. So check out them for sure. I sure forgot to say them right in the beginning. But yeah, for sure, check out Troubled Mind Network and I'm gonna keep on doing this, keep growing. So, and always y'all keep on keeping on, and peace and chicken grease. Y'all be good. Be safe.